Hello my fellow cigar smokers and welcome to Smoker's Spot and another episode of The Night Owl. And tonight we are smoking, oh the focus works even if it's dark. That is the Dunhill Heritage Torpedo. Very special cigar, but I will tell you a little bit more about it while we are smoking and chatting. First things first, let's get this thing started. Oops, that was my tripod. Something creamy coffee like. Oh, and a beautiful barnyard smell. The foot. Ah, guys, I love this cigar. Unfortunately, and not very. Only a few left. So I really want to enjoy that one. Ah, guys, Dunhill, that's a fucking tragedy, guys. And I've made a special episode, I think, just about Dunhill, the story and so on. I think 2 years ago, or 2019 or something like this. If I find it, I will put a link up here. Dunhill. Probably one of the most popular people in the tobacco industry, maybe after Zino Davidoff. Alfred Dunhill. The brand was founded in 1907. Doing tobacco, pipes, pipe tobacco, cigars, all sorts of tobacco related things for years after years, since 1907. 1960 something, I think 1967 or 68, it was sold completely to BAT, British American Tobacco. And in 2018, now 3 years ago, British American Tobacco announced that they will discontinue the whole series. Let me correct here my tripod a little bit after I bumped on it. That's better. 2018, Dunhill announced we'll stop doing shit, right? We'll discontinue our cigar series, the pipes, the pipe tobacco, go to hell. You have to imagine, guys, over 100 years of history in cigar making, and they just saying we're not going to do it anymore because our strategy, our strategy changed, and we focusing on this, that. Go to hell, motherfuckers. I'm sorry, but it was like, that was such, really. Anyways, guys. So, what do when a company announces that they will discontinue a cigar series? You buy all you can have, because when it's gone, right? So 2018, I started buying more Dunhill stuff, because really, especially the Dunhill Heritage series, guys, that was one of my all-time favorites. I smoked like, I don't know how many boxes, hundreds probably, really. They had different sizes, like the Torpedo, a Churchill, a Robusto, Gigant, whatever, and they were all great, especially the Heritage. They had others, like they had the Dunhill Aged with a white and blue box and color scheme, great too. and a couple of others, you know. But the Heritage was always my favorite, and it's the strongest. It was the strongest cigar in their palette, in their lines, you know. So right now I had 4 torpedoes left. Now I have 3 left because I'm smoking this one, and I have a box of the Gigantos left, and a box of the Dunhill aged, and that's it. Every now and then I'm looking for on different portals, online stores, and brick and mortar stores, if they have one, and if I can find one, I buy a few. But you know, it's like, you know, it will end like the Cuban Davidoffs, you know. Like 10 years ago, you were still able to find here and there a couple of them, but now it's almost impossible to buy them. And with Dunhill, it's the same. Dunhill also used to do Cuban cigars, and they're stopping the Cuban production simultaneously with Davidoff. And the Dunhill Cuban cigars are even harder to get nowadays than the Davidoffs. Different kind of story. But interestingly, there was a rumor like last year that maybe Davidoff is trying to getting hold of Cuban tobacco again, to doing something. But maybe it was just a rumor, because by now I heard nothing more about that. But maybe. Excellent draw. That's a really big torpedo. It has a ring gauge of 52 and a 6 dot something, I think 6.25. Focus, come back, please. Thank you. 52 ring gauge, 6.25 or 6.28 inches long. Wonderful, wonderful Vitola. The construction is always flawless, really. It was very good, and it has this buttery roasted coffee cinnamon thing going on. And if I remember right, because my last Dunhill is like over a year ago, and that will continue in up to the middle of the cigar, like the first half, and then it's getting a little bit stronger, and stepping up everything a little bit. But we'll see. You know, that is now, I mean, that year was, I remember I was buying after the announcement, so that thing must be like from 2018 or like the first quarter of 2019, something like this, and since then it's aging in my humidor. What's going on here, my friends? We're still in Germany. There's the election campaign ongoing for around about 2 more weeks. On the 26th of September, we are voting for a new chancellor. Actually, we're electing parties, but you know what I'm talking about. And I'm recording this on a Monday. Yesterday, Sunday, we had something on TV. They called it triel. Funny as hell. They created a new word, and what it means is like it's a competition with the 3 candidates who wants to become chancellor, and they thought, okay, there's a duel when 2 people are fighting against each other. There are 3 people, and that's like a triel. I don't know if that makes any sense or not, but somehow it worked, because everybody's talking about the triel shit. So these 3 guys, well, actually 2 gentlemen and 1 lady, was like fighting against each other verbally. and it was lame. I mean, the good thing is that it was always kind of respectful and mostly polite. But on the other hand, you figure after watching that, you like clueless, because more or less every one of the candidates are like very. I mean, they all have their core arguments, right? What's their program? What they want to achieve? What do they want to change? But when you're really looking behind the curtain, like you see, more or less it's all the same. Here and there, a few more details about that, about this, but it was the second time. The first triel was like a week ago, and last Sunday it was the second one. Next Sunday will be the last and the third one, and the Sunday after that is still like the election. I found something very funny about maybe, one of the rules here, don't talk too much about politics, but it's not politics. It's just about that thing that is going on. And on the other hand, it's like in Germany, and most of my viewers and the subscribers, they're not coming from Germany. Frankly, I think I have when you're checking the statistics or so, we are now getting closer to the 700 very slowly. We're now like 630 something subscribers, and mostly they're coming from the United States, my friends. And I think the UK, and the third place France, not quite sure, but only 10% of the people who are watching this is coming from a country where that is somehow connected to Germany. So Germany itself, Switzerland, Austria, So guys, I hope I'm not boring you too much, but that's what's going on right now here, And I'm into politics. I mean, not personally in a party, but I'm very interested. I'm following all that shit. So that's something that's the thing right now, Anyhow, I want to talk about, there's a new German podcast here. Two very popular people are doing that, and the first one is called Markus Lanz, and the second one, a philosopher, Richard David Precht. I love this guy, really. I have a couple of books of them, and he's a very, very smart guy who knows how to put things into perspective. And he found a phrase that describes the people who are doing that triel and their whole team around everything very, very good. In German, he said, alle Politiker, so all politicians, alle Politiker sind medienbegabte Universaldilettanten. And in English, he said, all politicians are media-skilled, universal dilettantes. And he's so right, because when you're looking at the people who have specific positions, starting with the chancellor and going down to the Secretary of Defense and so on, they have absolutely nothing to do with the subject where they are ruling, for example, the Secretary of Defense in Germany is a lady called Annegret Kramp-Karrenbauer. Funny name anyhow, and she looks exactly like the name sounds. And she has absolutely nothing to do with the military. She had absolutely no clue, And, you wonder what the fuck is going on. Why is such a person in this position? You know. In Germany, you have to understand that the political system we have here, they have like a team of experts in every section that know what's going on. You know, though she has experts, but there must be some. I don't understand it. Why not like a retired general, you know, or something who has something to do with the military, for example, and putting him in that position, so the fuck he knows what he's talking about, right? And the same with all the other things, you know. It's crazy. It's crazy. But no matter if you like it or not, you know, it's important, you know. Germany is like, in Europe, you know, everybody's looking what Germany is doing, you know, so it's important how, who is like controlling, who's running the country, and in what direction we are going, you know, because I'm pretty sure whatever we're doing here in Germany has an effect on the rest of Europe, you know. So we'll see what's going on, guys. I will keep you updated. Let me talk a little bit more about, because after, you know, a couple of hours ago, I've made an Instagram post and saying what I'm smoking tonight for the night owl. And a couple of hours prior, I was like standing in front of my humidor and was kind of looking through the boxes and stuff and thinking about what I'm going to smoke tonight. And there was this Dunhill, you know, and I thought, oh, that's a good time. That's the right night off for smoking a Dunhill. And after I picked the Dunhill and, you know, really quick checked like a few facts and numbers, like the ring gauge and so on, I dived mentally a little bit deeper into that Dunhill thing, and I remembered the episode I was doing like 2 or 3 years ago, and how upset I was that British American Tobacco like discontinued the cigar, the manufacturing of cigars, you know. And now I feel, now when I'm thinking about it, I'm still upset about it. And I mean, it's, you know, it's a private company. They can do whatever they want, right? And if they think it's better for them, for the like company performance and everything, that they stop doing cigars and doing other things, I mean, it's their company. They can do whatever they want, you know. But I think if you are running, if you bought a brand and a story from a company that is like over 100 years, more than 100 years old, you know, you have also responsibility, because you bought a piece of history. You bought a piece of tobacco cigar history, you know. And when you just stop doing it because of numbers and facts and whatever, you know, because some guy in a suit decided that it's better to discontinue the cigar series and continue to doing like shisha tobacco, whatever, you know, that sucks, man. That sucks. And you know, the point is, that is what happens if you are selling your shit to the big guys. You know, my good friend Daniel Ravanelli from the 505 Cigar Review show. Yeah, shoe. I'm sorry, man. The 505 Cigar Review show. He has like a schedule, and once per week he's doing like boutique cigars, you know. He has also like the premium cigar Thursday, I think it is Thursday when I'm right, and then he has like one day where he's just talking about boutique cigars, and that's such a great thing, because you have so many boutique brands, you know, Some are very small and some on the edge of becoming a little bit bigger, you know, but you have a range, you know. And you see what kind of fantastic cigars they are doing sometimes. And you can also see that once they're getting too greedy and they're selling their stuff, you know, the rights, the name and everything else, most of the time it's fucked up, you know. You know, the like, I don't want to say like the blue chip companies, you know, but the big guys, then they're changing the brand, the names, they have a different philosophy, they're scaling it up, they're making it bigger, you know, and the quality sucks then, the philosophy sucks, the story behind everything sucks, and sooner or later, you know, they changing everything and had nothing to do with where we started from, you know. So, and the cigar industry is like like tons of people who have a lot of passion and love what they're doing, and they're putting their heart, their blood, their sweat in their products, you know. And that only happens when you're like a small company, you know, when you love what you're doing, you know. And big companies, they don't have that, you know. They're looking after the profit, and it's totally fine. That's what they are here for, you know. But stay out of the fucking cigar industry, guys. You know, it's I'm still trying to enjoy the Dunhill and not ranting about British American tobacco. 2 weeks before last week, I think maybe I told you guys a little bit about in the last night owl or so, or in one of the other episodes. Remember back in March, I ordered like my new Harley Davidson, right? The new Fat Boy. And the week before last week, or 3 weeks ago, the Harley Davidson sales representative called me and said, Andy, your bike's here, and so on. And, oh, cool. I was driving over there, getting all my papers, because they also have a service that they register your motorcycle, right? So it's now the second week, and my fucking bike is still not registered. I called them like yesterday, not yesterday, Friday or Saturday, can't remember. And my neighbors. And I asked, guys, what's going on? You know, I was waiting like more than a week now, and I heard nothing. You know, what's going on? You just need to register my bike. That's what you're getting paid for. And it's not like they're like selling 50 new Harley Davidson per day. You know, so what the fuck is going on? You know. So they told me they have a subcontractor who's doing the registration for them. Okay. So what's going on? Yeah, we have to check, you know. We don't know what's going on. I thought, what, that's my bike. What's going on? I'm waiting for a week. The sun is still shining. It's September. I want to ride. What's going on, guys? Still not here. It's Monday. My new Fat Boy is still not here. I'm still waiting. They promised that it will be delivered, the registered, everything finished this week, you know. And guys, I'm telling you, when it's Friday and I still don't have my bike over here, I don't know what's going to happen. You know, it would be funny if they like delivered like on Thursday or Friday, and then it starts raining for 3 weeks, you know. Because, guys, come on, mid of September, you know. At the moment, we're still lucky here. Sun is shining, it's not raining, you know. So, but that can change like daily. I would love if people would just do their job, you know. What they are getting paid for. That's so funny. It's like late night, and There were like two neighbors was walking by over here, and they were like yelling. Oh, what's going on, guys? Just talk normal in a normal volume. Sweet mother of Jesus. They don't know that I'm doing the night owl here. Guy. Oh, such a pleasure. It's such a fantastic experience to smoking that Dunhill again. No, it instantly like throws me back when they were still widely available. Back then, a couple of years ago, Dunhill made a fantastic edition. They called it the Robusto collection, and they made a box that was like this, you know, and in there they had different types of Robusto cigars, you know, with a pigtail, without a pigtail, a little bit bigger, a little bit smaller, and they had the standard Robusto in there, but like 4 or 5 other types of Robustos, and they were not available outside of that Robusto collection. You know, that was fantastic. I had also like, don't know, $4 or $5 of them, just enjoying smoking the different kind of Robusto cigars. They made pretty good stuff back then. Saturday, guys, and it was also a nice Saturday. I think it was Saturday. Anyhow, not important. We're sitting in my living room, and it was late night, and I was just like zapping through the TV and found nothing really interesting. And I found, you know, I have to like explain, and maybe I said it a couple of times, I'm really not watching like regular TV channels anymore. You know, so most of the time, okay, maybe a couple of documentation channels like History Channel and so on that I really enjoy, or the news. That's what I'm watching like on regular TV. Other than that, I'm just like doing the Netflix thing and Amazon Prime, Disney Plus, whatever, you know. But now and then, you're you know, like you're switching, you're like scrolling through the virtual channel list, and there I found a very old movie. And now, of course, I don't know the English name, but in German it's called Der Regenmacher. And now, before I continue talking about that movie, let me check what's the original title, that you know what I'm talking about, right? Because I'm pretty sure it's not Regenmacher, like the direct translation would be the Rainmaker, but somehow I'm pretty sure that's not the original title. And I'm also very bad with names, so I forgot the name of the actors. Okay, here, found it. It's by John Grisham. So the book, it's an original book, and they made a film out of it. It's from 1997. Oh, holy shit! The original title is The Rainmaker. Okay, The Rainmaker. The book by John Grisham and director Francis Ford Coppola. And it's Matt Damon. Matt Damon and Danny DeVito. Danny Glover and a couple of other guys. Mickey Rourke played Bruiser. Roy Schneider, a couple of others. So The Rainmaker, 1997, old movie. And I saw the title and I thought, oh, guys, great. Because the last time I watched it was like 10 years ago. I thought, oh, maybe give it another try. It's still a fantastic movie. Still a fantastic movie. Matt Damon is like brilliant, you know. Danny DeVito, man, I love this guy. You know, he had a great role in that movie. And Mickey Rourke, guys, he back then, 97, he looked like a human being. Right now, man, he looked like a fucking robot. But the movie was great. And it's like today, you know. The story could have played also today, you know. Because in case you don't know, if you don't know that movie, really, guys, also it's from 97. You watch it, you know. Won a Golden Globe and everything. It's like a fantastic movie. Kind of long, but really worth watching. Basic story is like Matt Damon just finished studying. He's now an attorney, right? A lawyer. And he's like, his first thing he's going to do, like he's fighting for a poor guy who's going to die because he's, I think, cancer, some sort of cancer. And like the healthcare system is not supporting him because they refused his claims, you know. They said, no, we cannot do that therapy and this. I'm sorry, you have to die. And he died. And that's not a big spoiler, you know, because that's the very beginning of the movie. And Matt Damon is like fighting for him, you know, and for his parents who are still alive. Sad at some points, funny at some points, and it's traumatic, you know. Very good movie, guys. I'm not spoiling too much right now because maybe you still want to watch it, but the chances are good that you already watch it and you know The Rainmaker. But that's what I'm saying, you know. Now and then you're like scrolling through the channel list and you see, oh, over here, let's just take a peek, you know. And then you're hooked and you're watching the whole movie. And some movies, like even if they're like 20 or 30 years old or even older, they're like still great, you know. And then other movies, they're like they were coming out at the same point and you cannot watch them because they're like crap. Sometimes it's just so nice to sit here out in the garden, no matter if the camera's running or not. Just sit there doing nothing, enjoying a cigar, you know, in case when I'm doing a night I'll talking a little bit. Other day I was thinking about, I have really, because the summer sucked here in Germany. We had a couple of days they were like scorching hot. You were not able to do anything, but mostly it was just raining. So I wasn't doing barbecue or not doing barbecue, not using the smoker very often. And other day I thought that's a fucking pity. I really have to like do a couple of days more smoking and barbecuing, you know. Inviting a couple of friends, doing a nice barbecue, talking a little bit of shit, smoking a good cigar, drinking a good drink, and you know, just having a good time together. And by the way, Ranch, Hearts and Cigar. I know you're watching it. If you're watching it, I'm still waiting. You promised to do some cooking shows on your channel. I'm still waiting for that. Well, I want to see some barbecue and cooking going on, making sausages and all that. I'm really desperately waiting for that. If in case you forgot, you still have to do that, my friend. There are people out there waiting for it. Yesterday or the day before yesterday, actually, not quite sure now, I brought out a new episode of Pick a Stick for September, and I presented like 4 different cigars. And up to now, it's pretty clear. Most of the people voted for the Oscar, Into the Deep. I think just 2 people voted up to now, and one gentleman said I need to smoke that Laura Chavin Perfecto, which is still looking pretty interesting. And other gentleman said I need to smoke the Joya de Nicaragua. I think it was Mike Mecklenburg. He voted for Joya de Nicaragua. Most of the other people voted for the Oscar, Into the Deep. So I'm pretty sure we'll go with this one, but voting is still open. What I want to talk about, like I bought a couple of very, very interesting cigars, and one of them is a real unicorn. And if you remember the last time I said that, we were doing like a review of the Cuban Davidoff, and the next one was that Cohiba, the Cuban Cohiba 35th anniversary. That was like 20 years old. Most of the time, I hope I'm not disappointing you when I'm talking about unicorns and so on. I found another one that is resting for a while now in my humidor and is closely to getting ready, being smoked, and I'm really excited. And that's so funny. When it's coming to cigars, I'm like a little child, you know. It's like sometimes I imagine myself a little kid being in the toy store and want to buy everything, you know. When I'm in a cigar shop, Jesus Christ, that's crazy, you know. And then sometimes I have to like intellectual thinking about, I have a big humidor, but it's like packed, you know. And I have 3 small humidors, and I have 1 humidor in the lounge and they're all packed, you know. And even if I'm stopped buying cigars right now, I can still smoke cigars for like the next 10 years or so, and I would still have some left, you know. That's absolutely crazy. So I'm always saying to myself, Andy, stop buying cigars. You have enough cigars, you know. But it's like it's not manageable for me. I don't know. There's something is wrong, and I always want to buy cigars. But I'm doing pretty good with whiskey lately. I used to buy whiskey a lot of whiskeys, a lot of expensive whiskeys, a lot of good whiskeys, and they're all like waiting to getting like opened. But lately I'm not drinking so much whiskey, so it's just standing there. It's not getting like You know, even if it's standing there for 10 years, it will still be fine. But it's a pity. It's a pity. So I really limited my whiskey buying spree. My whiskey shopping spree is like very limited lately, so I'm happy about it. And maybe I can manage that with cigars too. Not sure, but we'll see. But on the other hand, if I wouldn't be so crazy about cigars, we wouldn't have so many unicorns and good cigars here on the shows, right? So, I'm not sure. As I said, guys, we're entered the second half, and the cigars, the strengths are stepped up. I have a little bit of a very mild pepper, so it's not that steak intense black pepper. It's more like a white pepper or cream pepper, not sure. The milder sort of pepper, milder pepperish. And that's interestingly, that's not, that I had no pepper, you know. When I started a cigar, there was no pepper at all. But I always remember something will happen, you know. And since it's such a good cigar, it stays always the same, you know, quality-wise. So that pepper thing and the cinnamon is still there. But the sweetness, where I think it's coming from oh, guys, I know I was talking about ring gauge and size, but they also have a very interesting plant. The wrapper is an Ecuadorian Habanos 2000 wrapper. The binder is Jalapa. I don't know if I pronounced that right. Jalapa, not quite sure. My Spanish experts might tell me how to pronounce it right. So we have from Nicaragua, Jalapa, and then the filler is tobacco from Nicaragua and Honduras. Very interesting plant, and I think that sweetness thing is coming from that Nicaragua tobacco. I'm not sure from the binder or the filler, so I don't know, but we have that very interesting sweetness that is like coming from very, very dark chocolate, you know. Lovely. And now and every couple of minutes I have the feeling that there is something honey-like in my mouth. At the very tip of my tongue, there's like on my lips, it's like coated, you know, because it's so buttery, creamy. And sometimes I think I have a little bit of honey there. Great. Now I remember why I missed that cigars so much. If you have the same thing that I just described with Dunhill cigars, if you have the same thing going on with other cigars that you liked and they were discontinued, no matter if it's a brand or a cigar line or one specific edition, whatever, put it down in the comments, let me know. That would give me the hope that I'm not the only lunatic that is so so mad about that somebody discontinued specific things, you know. If you have that tool, please let me know. So guys, I just hope that you enjoyed that Night Owl episode. I have the feeling that I was talking a little bit more than usual, but there were a couple of topics that were like in me, waiting, being published. Nevertheless, I hope you enjoyed it, and I really hope that you can smoke one or two good, maybe old cigars, or one of your favorites. Don't forget, cigars, they are there to being smoked, so don't just leave it in the humidor. They're always a good occasion smoking a good cigar, so if you have good cigars in your humidor, take it out there, smoke it. You never know what's going to happen, so smoke a good cigar, and enjoy life. Part of smoking cigars is or part of enjoying life is smoking cigars. So do that. But most importantly, stay safe and stay healthy. And I hope to see you around at Smoker Spot the next night, the next review. And stay tuned for the unicorn I was talking about. I think it will be a fantastic smoke. Guys, I wish you a good night. See ya.